Anne Bonny playable. Let's be honest, a lot of the time in the Assassin's Creed series, the gameplay doesn't change too much, and the big difference is the main character and how they interact with the world. Well, the Anne Bonny mod gives us a glimpse at an alternate universe timeline AC game where we got to control a different member of the Jackdaw pirate crew. Anne here has been modified to actually use the moveset of Evelyn from Assassin's Creed Liberation too. So the combat feels like playing a brand new character, having been added to this familiar world, like a forbidden DLC. Lead writer for Black Flag, Darby McDermott, once said in a podcast that more scenes of Anne were cut, and the sequence of her and Mary being captured was meant to be playable, so crazily, by some coincidence, this restores and expands on the original vision of the game. Unlocked South Venice. Italy was one of the all-time great locations in Assassin's Creed, which they liked so much they brought it back for 3 separate games. Even still, we obviously haven't seen all of it, as much of South Venice was locked away during certain segments within Ezio missions. Enter the unlocked South Venice mod, which reveals that there's quite a bit of detail and level geometry hidden out of bounds. It's a super pretty area to explore, even just to appreciate the massive water-filled skybox which stretches on endlessly. Albeit, this mod is not intended for normal gameplay and missions cannot be played here, as when Ezio spawns he will appear in this forbidden area as soon as the game starts. I'll say it, not a bad place to be trapped. ACB Legacy Outfits. Legacy outfits are the beloved tradition of adding the old outfits to the characters of newer games. Well, what if I told you that some people are clever enough to add all the new outfits to older games, using custom leather and metal textures? The ACB Legacy mod allows Ezio to equip the looks of all the modern protagonists, even all the way up to Basim, while you play through the brilliant title that is AC Brotherhood, being otherwise unchanged. It works shockingly well to see these outfits in motion, having been added to a game made way before their time. This is the kind of thing Ubisoft would never bother doing. It's not something anyone would expect, but is the perfect showcase of what mods can allow. Effects and interface customization mod.
Mercenary, this can't be good.
AC Odyssey has a unique look in the gameplay visuals of the Assassin's Creed series. Origins may have started it, but Odyssey is arguably the more MMO-looking title, which is cool. It has all sorts of icons, bubbles, glowing things, and hit sparks present in the animation and UI. However, there's an extremely personalizable mod with an absolutely gargantuan list of options to remove or tone down any visual element you could want. Maybe your favorite armor glows a little too much, or you find the sparkles on lootable bodies a bit distracting. Toggle it off, or heck, toggle off the ability to see your character at all for a very unique kind of hard mode. Speaking of, hard difficulty mod. You may expect a fan-made hard mode to just be enemies with more health or maybe more damage, but some go above and beyond. Hard difficulty mod for Black Flag by Sergeant Joe isn't just tankier enemies, it affects how you engage with combat itself. This mod removes counter kills, so you can't drop an enemy off on a single attack, and makes it so that even base goons will attempt to block finishing blows. Soldier-type enemies have been given muskets, making them high-priority targets to take out, while brutes will pull out pistols if you attempt to escape from combat. Officers are immune to throwing, and will use their guns in combat more often, and captains are only described as super captains, which I don't even know what that means, but I'm sure it's scary. Purity of Egypt. If you've looked into AC mods, you know this whole list could have easily just been shaders, but we wanted to pick one of the thematically strongest ones. The Purity of Egypt mod aims to improve the look of foliage and color tones of the sandy map, featuring bluer skies, healthier green trees, whiter sun-bleached stones, and an additional soft bloom to resemble bright sunlight. AC Origins was already a great looking game, but this next-gen style reshade immediately makes us want to pick it back up again in an environmentally thriving, beautiful Egypt. AC Mirage eject height and sprint speed increase. The mod's so good, it basically became canon. If you were around for the first few weeks of AC Mirage's release, you might recall that while people loved parkouring in Baghdad, it could be a little slow in areas where Basm couldn't reach handholds after ejecting from one. The Mirage Eject Height and Sprint Increase mod came to the rescue, upping Basm's ability to reach farther and go faster, as seemed very appropriate. You can disable some collisions, turn off stumbling, change jump gravity, and more, which saw plenty of use in Assassin's Creed parkour videos. Eventually word must have gotten around to the devs, or they felt it themselves, as a patch was released which itself increased Basm's reach and overall speed when maneuvering. While you might not need it as much anymore, we still have to respect the grind of modders to beat devs to their own game. Player customizations.
I did as you asked. We had a deal.
You were never in a position to bargain.
If you could look like anyone, what would you do? Spend hundreds of hours in the character creator, that's what. Player Customizations, a mod for AC Odyssey, has been downloaded over 200,000 times, allowing you to change your Cassandra or Alexios into literally anything you want. You're given all the NPC faces and hairs in the game, including some of the unique Isu ones, if you wanted to rock that Hermes hairstyle for instance. How cool is that? With all the power of modding, your character can look exactly like Leonidas if you wish it, or how about Leonidas with a different hair color or different beard? Only caveat being, it doesn't seem to be updated to the most recent version of Odyssey, so some computer wizardry may be required. Unreleased first-person mod.
Do I know you from somewhere? Don't you recognize me? It's me, Mario!
Surprisingly enough, a few first-person mods do exist, but are not publicly available in any way yet. However, we wanted to mention it on the impressive basis that modders beat Ubisoft to the punch with a first-person Assassin's Creed experience. Best exemplified by modder Slider V2 in their forced first-person perspective mod, AC2's Ezio is able to realistically parkour and assassinate guards with ease, although it can be assumed certain missions and parkour segments would be made drastically more difficult by not being able to clearly see your surroundings as well. All that said, man, would it be worth it to just mess around with? Maybe at some point in the future we'll get the Nexus view of the older games. Don't harass anyone for it though. Cloth Physics Patch. Sweet, simple, and extra immersive, the 60 FPS cloth physics patch for Unity really sells how dramatic the iconic Assassin's Cloak can look with a touch more extra detail. In this mod, your coattails will sway in the breeze, waggle back and forth as you step, and even hang off of you as you lean over the edge of a building. Batman in all his swaying cape glory would be proud. Sometimes you really don't know what you're missing until a modder gives it to you. Halzoid's Outfit Manager. Imagine every time you unlock an outfit in a game, you also got to color pick each and every piece of the outfit too. That's the power Halzoids has given to AC Unity, with sliders, bars, and menus to create your perfect, brightly shaded, totally inconspicuous outfit. Maybe you like one getup with all your heart, except for just one piece. Well, swap it out with the transmog system for a different one. Is the leather cloak a little too shiny for your liking? Turn the shine down. Don all black and hide in the shadows, or dye Arno's clothes to the color of your country's flag. There's infinite fun to be had with color swaps, but you can imagine how much work this mod is doing under the hood. Raxo Blank AC3 Ultimate Pack 2.
Evening, Connor. I see you made it here in one piece.
Recovered from your beating then?
Maybe, just maybe, you don't want to spend hours and hours picking and choosing each piece of your assassin's outfit or designing their face. Maybe you'd rather be George Washington. The only thing better than making your own skins is by unlocking some incredible, completely unique ones. The Raxo Blank Ultimate Pack allows you to become several NPCs and boss enemies in AC3, including Minerva, Juno, and Jupiter to awesome effect. The ability to play as all these big bads reminds us of those fabled cheat codes where you could play as the boss character, but maybe that wasn't actually real at all and it was just a rumor. And hey, look at that! We got to play as a historic figure way before Assassin's Creed Shadows. Another point for the modding community. Definitive Parkour Mod. Being Assassin's Creed, most people are here for either parkour mods or outfits, and this here is the former. The accurately titled Definitive mod by Henry PDT gives you what feels like 1,000 more parkour options and button presses to enhance your control over every movement, featuring moves like the Super Hop, Vault to Freeform Fall, Dive Beam, Disable Stumble, Near Miss Manual Edge Grab, Always Roll Quick Kiosk, Wall Dismount, and so much more, along with custom inputs for every action which you can enable and disable on the fly for maximum parkour proficiency. This thing makes for a near unmatched suite of tools and parkour runs, and did I mention, it's also available for not just one, but several of the early titles. That must have taken a minute. Anvil Toolkit. This is a bit of a cheat entry, but one I believe is well earned. The people not modding their games for parkour purposes are probably doing the other most popular thing. That's right, adding in Shrek. We got Shrek, everyone. The Anvil Toolkit allows you to manipulate the internals of the game in a variety of ways and often contributes to the successful running of other mods, but is also used as a method of achieving model swaps. No matter who you are, it's hard not to enjoy seeing people twist the copies of their games into insane asset-flipped nightmares, and the toolkit's spot on this list is to show a small thanks to that. ACU Fixes. ACU Fixes might be one of the most well-known mods of its time. It not only lets you control small elements of gameplay, but also introduces new custom mechanics that help it feel like a completely new game. The player can manipulate weather to affect scenery and look of the world, enter windows with a dedicated button, activate slow motion whenever you want, as well as keeping your hood on if you wish, shooting from haystacks, or midair, which isn't usually possible, and equipping or using bombs in new ways. These additions and tweaks help Unity's Arno to be far more responsive and let you engage with the game how you'd like. Don't want to exit stealth when combat starts? That's fine, you don't have to anymore. Want to do a sick jump shot, then land in hay, then do another jump shot, then do a roll, then activate slow motion? The pure rule of cool amount of things this lets you do is incredible. Thanks for watching. Did I miss any cool mods? I bet I did. Let me know which ones you like down in the comments, and find our other Assassin's Creed videos right here on MojoPlays.